HHN Meatloaf here from the HHN Squad podcast with my very first movie review of The Conjuring 2/3 because Annabelle came in, screwed up the order, whatever, Conjuring 2, I guess we'll call it. I did not see Annabelle or the original Conjuring, so I'm going into this review with only the knowledge of Conjuring 2. So I might watch them and do a different review. Currently, I'm just not going to. I just don't really have the time. Other than that, let's get right into it. I'm not going to talk about what it's about because you should probably already know by now. I don't know why else you would be here. Things I enjoyed in the movie. One of the main things that I really noticed was child actors. They were very good. Compared to something like Sinister 2, where they were not very good at all. I did not enjoy Sinister 2 that much to begin with, and it felt just really ruined by child actors. I might review that sometime, but this movie had very good child actors. The girl that played Janet was very good at conveying different emotions, from going from like being a possessed, scary little demon girl into being a scared, frightened, what is happening little girl. And the other main character that's a kid, Billy, I believe his name is Billy or Bobby, was very good. He didn't really have as many emotions or as big a role as Janet, but the points that in the movie that he did were very good. He did very good at playing a kid, I guess. Mainly, it was just experimenting, or the ghost was experimenting with him, trying to play with him and screw with his head, and he did a good job just being a scared kid, which I guess is natural for a kid in that kind of situation. But he was pretty good. One of the only things that bothered me about him, I guess it really isn't his fault, but he played this role where he had this weird speech impediment where he'd like stutter. And they like really tried to get it across in the beginning with like bullies bullying him, and then like the sister trying to teach him to get over it. But then it just kind of disappeared in the middle of the movie and just kind of reappeared throughout. It was kind of weird. It felt like they forgot about it midway, and then were like, "Oh no, we had to put this back in." It was like, "Oh crap," and they didn't really want to reshoot scenes, so they kind of just snuck it in. That's not really one of my big complaints. Another thing that I enjoyed about the movie was the cinematography and overall like aesthetic. Cinematography, I really noticed in two scenes. The introductory scene where the kids get to the house, the camera's going through windows and walls. It's very fluent. I really enjoyed it. I also really enjoyed the scene where, oh, in the Warrens, there's the husband and the wife. I'm just going to call the husband Elvis because he sings Elvis and looks exactly like Elvis. Where Elvis is fixing the washing machine. I thought that was really well shot. I really liked the scare with it too. I thought that was really cool. That's what I like about cinematography overall, and then aesthetic. I just really enjoyed the overall feel of the movie, I guess you could call it. Mainly the scenes where the wife Warren was teleported to her weird like spiritual dimension. I don't know what you'd really call it. I really liked all of those. I really, really enjoyed the scene with the weird demon nun, I guess you could call her, where she's in the office. I really liked how it was shot with the shadow going across the wall and then the painting just like coming to life and attacking her. I thought that was really cool. I really enjoyed that. My computer's closing. Please don't close, Mr. Computer. There we go. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the overall aesthetic. I'm gonna stop saying enjoy. I guess we can go into things that I did not enjoy about the movie. One of the things I really didn't, and it's not really enjoy, it's just the length. It was 2 hours 14 minutes, and I don't mind movies being long. I enjoy that, but as long as it's like necessary content, it felt like there was a lot of filler. like I said, Elvis Warren. He had a part where he just sang Elvis, which I felt was really unnecessary. I get that you're trying to build a relationship between Janet and Elvis and the Warrens, um, but I feel like it was just kind of unnecessary. Like we got that they were connected when the wife Warren sat down on the swings. I guess this was just a way for Elvis to connect with them, but I felt it was unnecessary. Um, I felt like there was just a lot of filler that was unnecessary. Like there was way too much time before the Warrens actually got to London and actually started like trying to help them. So I found that really weird. Another thing that also kind of bothered me is the daughter of the Warrens. I don't know her name, but if she saw the demon and stuff and was like being haunted by it at home, what happened to her? Because the wife was all freaked out, like, oh, get into the living room, don't die or anything. And then all of a sudden it's like, we're just gonna leave you home alone where I saw the ghost. But I guess it just followed them because it followed them all the way to London. Um, so I guess it was fine. I don't really know. Uh, the only other thing that really bothered me was I don't know what you'd consider this or if you saw it too. The influences, I guess you could call it. When you see, oh yeah, so I'm gonna talk about spoilers a little bit. So when I do this, you can just see in the scroll bar something. That's when the spoilers are over. So I'm gonna start right now. It's not over. It's starting. Okay, Bill Wilkins, the guy who was haunting the poltergeist, demon, ghost, whatever you want to call him, when you see him like in the end and the wife Warren talks to him and he has like the mask on and stuff, he looked exactly like the man who can't breathe from Insidious 3. And I actually thought it was him, but then I remembered Blumhouse, I don't know how you pronounce it, had nothing to do with this movie. Um, and it turned out to be just Bill Wilkins, but I felt like he looked exactly like him. It was just kind of like throwing me off. Another thing was the Crooked Man. Um, I get if you're trying to like do the old kind of London like style with like a long slender man in like a suit and hat and stuff, but doing it as so much to like make him a villain and still make him all like black and like dressed in black and creepy, uh, and just look exactly like the Babadook. That was really strange for me. I don't know when this was filmed, but maybe they just didn't know about it. Um, I'm sure it has like no relationship at all, but personally, it just kind of bothered me. That was the only really two like influences that I saw. There was a lot of Exorcist. I thought with Janet's like Janet is the daughter, by the way. Shoot, spoilers are over. I'm sorry. Okay, I felt like there was also a lot of influence with what was her name, Janet, and The Exorcist, with motions and filming with her, the weird creaky bone cracking motions in certain scenes felt a lot like Regan or Reagan. I don't know how you pronounce her name, but the daughter from The Exorcist. Um, that kind of, it didn't really bother me. I thought it was fine, but also it just was weird how Janet looked exactly like her. I guess not exactly like blonde and curly hair, but like facial structure and stuff. It was just kind of weird. Um, that's pretty much all I really have to say for this movie. Um, I wish I could say more. The movie, like I said, was 2 hours and 14 minutes, which is kind of ridiculous for a horror movie. It's just very slow, but very all over the place, if that makes sense. There was a lot. My computer. Okay. There was a lot of scenes where it was just a lot of filler, but then when you did get to the scenes where there was a lot of like content and things moving the plot along, it kept moving between the Warrens and the Hodgsons, which was very distracting trying to focus on two families at the same time. I kind of wish they'd do it in separate parts, which they did and a lot, but I felt like there was a lot of jumping between, excuse me. Um, but other than that, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I'm gonna hopefully see Annabelle and The Conjuring sometime. I might do a review on those or reshoot this one. If you have anything that I'd like to review or for everybody in the podcast and squad to review, please leave it down in the comments below or send it to us on Twitter, me on Twitter. Probably review it. I'm up for anything. I don't really care for giving out number grades, but I guess I'd give this a strong 7, I guess. Uh, I guess I'd also give it an 8. I don't really know. I really enjoyed it. It was really good, pretty scary, keeps you on edge horror movie. Um, Things like Insidious 3, I really enjoyed, but scary wise, it just wasn't very scary. They were like jump scares every 5 minutes and really kind of bothered me. I might do a review of that sometime, maybe all the Insidious movies, because I've seen all those. But yeah, that's what I have for it. If you have anything you'd like to say, put in the comments. Send it to me on Twitter, everybody on Twitter, whatever. I'm HHN Meatloaf. Bye.